In a shocking and emotionally explosive twist on Coronation Street, viewers are left stunned as Theo finally snaps, putting Todd's life in terrifying danger while George watches in absolute horror, creating one of the most intense and dramatic moments the couples have seen in years. The tension surrounding Theo Silverton has been building for weeks, with fans noticing the cracks in his calm exterior as pressure, jealousy, and unresolved emotions slowly pushed him toward the edge. But nothing could have prepared the residents of Weatherfield or the audience at home for the terrifying moment when Theo's anger boils over and he launches a brutal attack on Todd Grimmish right in front of a horrified George Shuttleworth. The dramatic confrontation begins innocently enough, with Todd confronting Theo about the lies and manipulations that have been quietly simmering between them for weeks. Todd, never one to shy away from a confrontation, believes he can reason with Theo and finally force the truth out into the open. However, what Todd doesn't realize is that Theo has reached a dangerous breaking point, his emotions spiraling out of control as he feels cornered, exposed, and desperate to protect the secrets he's been hiding. As the argument escalates, George arrives unexpectedly and instantly senses that something is terribly wrong. The air is thick with tension as voices grow louder and accusations fly across the room. Todd refuses to back down, pushing Theo harder and harder, determined to expose him once and for all. But Theo's reaction is not what anyone expects. Instead of walking away or defending himself with words, something inside him snaps completely. In a moment that leaves George frozen with shock, Theo suddenly turns violent, grabbing Todd and shoving him aggressively against the wall. The room erupts into chaos as Todd struggles to defend himself, clearly stunned by the sudden shift from argument to outright attack. George shouts for Theo to stop, his voice filled with panic as he rushes forward, but Theo is consumed by rage and refuses to listen. The once calm and controlled man has transformed into someone unrecognizable, driven by fear and fury. Todd tries to reason with him even as the attack intensifies, but Theo's grief tightens and his actions become increasingly dangerous. For a horrifying moment, it genuinely appears as though Theo may go too far and kill Todd. George desperately attempts to intervene, pleading with Theo to think about what he is doing, reminding him that this isn't who he is. But Theo seems deaf to reason, his mind clouded by anger and desperation. The normally composed George is shaken to his core, realizing he may be witnessing a tragedy unfold right in front of him. The moment becomes even more chilling when Todd falls during the struggle, hitting the ground hard as Theo continues his attack, leaving George terrified that Todd might not survive the night. For longtime fans of Coronation Street, the scene is a reminder of how quickly tensions can explode on the cobbles, turning ordinary disagreements into life-threatening confrontations. As George finally manages to pull Theo back, the reality of what has just happened begins to sink in. Theo's breathing is heavy, his eyes filled with a mixture of anger, regret, and fear as he realizes how close he came to doing something truly unforgivable. Todd, meanwhile, lies, injured and shaken, struggling to catch his breath as George rushes to help him. The aftermath of attack promises to send shockwaves throughout Weatherfield, with residents left stunned by the revelation of just how dangerous Theo has become. Questions immediately begin swirling about What drove him to such a violent breaking point? Was it fear of being exposed, jealousy, or something even darker lurking beneath the surface? The dramatic storyline also leaves George facing a devastating emotional dilemma. Having witnessed the attack firsthand, he knows he may have to report Theo to the authorities even if it means destroying someone's life. George has always tried to see the good in people, but the brutal violence he witnessed may make it impossible for him to stay silent. Fans are already speculating about the long-term consequences of the shocking confrontation. Some believe Theo could face arrest or imprisonment if Todd presses charges, while others suspect the storyline may reveal deeper secrets that explain Theo's terrifying behavior. Meanwhile, Todd's future on the street hangs in the balance as he recovers from the attack and decides what to do next. The emotional fallout is expected to ripple through multiple characters, affecting friendships, relationships, and loyalties across Weatherfield. For George in particular, the trauma of witnessing such violence may leave lasting scars. The storyline also highlights the darker side of human emotion, showing how fear and desperation can push someone past the point of no return. Theo's breakdown serves as a chilling reminder that even the most composed individuals can harbor dangerous anger beneath the surface. As viewers continue to process the shocking scenes, speculation is already running wild. One line about what will happen next. Will Todd recover fully and seek justice, or will he decide to keep quiet of reasons of his own? Can Theo ever redeem himself after such a violent outburst, or has he crossed a line that cannot be forgiven? And how will George cope with the knowledge that he witnessed an attempted killing? The powerful performance from the actors involved being raw emotion and realism to the storyline, making the terrifying confrontation feel all too real. As the dust settles and the consequences begin to unfold, the residents of Weatherfield will be forced to confront the truth about what happened that night and whether Theo can ever come back from the brink after nearly taking Todd's life in front of George's horrified eyes. The storyline promises weeks of gripping drama. As secrets unravel, loyalties are tested, and the community struggles to recover from a moment that could change everything forever on Coronation Street. The terrifying aftermath of the attack continues to send shockwaves through Coronation Street as the reality of Theo's violent outburst slowly sinks in for everyone involved. As Todd lies shaken and injured on the ground, George Shuttleworth rushes to his side, desperately trying to assess how badly he is hurt. George's hand trembles as he helps Todd sit up, his voice filled with panic as he repeatedly asks if he is okay. Todd is still struggling to breathe after the brutal confrontation, can barely respond at first. The shock of the attack leaving him disoriented and overwhelmed. Meanwhile, just a few steps away, Theo Silverton stands frozen, staring at what he has done. For a long moment, no one speaks. The silence in the room is heavy and suffocating, broken only by Todd's labored breathing and George's anxious attempts to keep him conscious. Finally, George turns toward Theo with a look of disbelief and betrayal. He demands to know what on earth came over him, his voice shaking with both fear and anger. George has always tried to believe the best in people, but the violence he just witnessed has shattered that faith. Theo struggles to find the words to explain himself, but nothing he says seems capable of justifying what just happened. Todd, slowly regaining his composure, looks up at Theo with a mixture of pain and disbelief.